In this video, I will be engaging the sociological components, reflecting our connection with the social world, the agency, and the impact of the social world with our connection to society, the structure, being the social theory. This sociological imagination module will be analysed through the topic of collecting a coffee through the drive-through. I will seek to demonstrate how the simple task of collecting a coffee through a drive-through is connected with capitalism, economics, the environment, culture, and society. Okay, so firstly, let's take a closer look into sociological impact. So why do I want to buy the coffee from a particular coffee drive-through? I purchased the coffee for not only my morning ritual and caffeine dependency, but a method of stimulation so that I am prepared for interactive conversation as I work within a person-based environment within a social setting. So at times I may invite co-workers to assist me in my journey. In Australian culture, we see coffee as a means to derive conversation as an interpersonal cohesion. Now, the advertisement and the source of the product itself can describe and reflect my journey, or even the location, as well as our belief system. There have been stories that have been shared in different cultures about coffee stimulating effects and how this is celebrated through rituals. The earliest story stems from Ethiopia in 850 AD that tells a tale of a shepherd and his goats, where he noticed the goats' reaction to the coffee beans. Enjoying the flavour himself, he introduced the beans with the locals in Ethiopia. Coffee was founded in Ethiopia, where to this day, as a cultural ritual, they prepare their coffee as a religious prayer. In Ethiopian religious ceremonies, it is the traditional and cultural role of the woman to prepare and roast the coffee beans and serve it to the men of their tribe and or their families. There is the question, does coffee play a role in gender status and equal rights? In relevance to the conflict theory and macro concerns, there are areas that demonstrate gender inequality. An example is seen in Ethiopia, where 80% of the population showed the majority of rural coffee plantation labourers are actually women. The lower class of Arabian culture began coffee houses dating way back to the 15th century, and these coffee houses banned women unless they were prostitutes. Therefore, coffee was reflected as a symbolic interactionism on a micro level, where coffee was associated with sex. In relation to capitalism, an example is seen with the owner of the coffee business employs a number of staff members in order to meet the customer intake. All staff employed at the coffee shop are earning an income in order to pay for their basic needs. That includes the housing and food. The owner purchases the produce from the manufacturer, who initially has purchased the coffee direct through importing from another country. So, for example, Brazil, Ethiopia. An example in Ethiopia, a coffee bean farmer would earn 2 cents of every $2 made. This reveals the overall impact of capitalism on coffee export business. Economically, each staff member earns a wage, but it is the responsibility of the owner of the business to also pay for the cost of electricity, the produce, the delivery expenses. Environmentally, we need to consider the level of pollution caused by the exhaust fumes expelled from each vehicle that travels via the drive-through. Car pollution is one of the largest causes of global warming. So it's emitting carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases into our environment, and in reflection to that, causing worldwide temperatures to rise. The coffee cups provided in a drive-through have plastic lids, which are identified as a hazard on our environment itself. And in relevance to the coffee cups themselves, the trees are cut down to produce the actual disposable coffee cup. Even though they state the cup is disposable, there is an identified expense in recycling. So that's stemming to another level as well. Along with this, consideration is required to the amount of water wasted with cleaning of the coffee business. So it is estimated that 4 billion gallons of water is wasted annually worldwide. From this, we have looked at why we drink coffee. We've looked at where does the coffee come from. We've looked into who makes the coffee and the questions that are all interrelated to capitalism, economics, our environment, culture, and society. We have seen how there is symbolic interactionism through micro approaches concerning sexism within cultural roles. We can also see how functionalism focuses on the larger social structures that are seen within culture and religion, all in relation to the purchase of the coffee. I hope you've enjoyed my slideshow. Thank you very much.